Hello again, this is Tim Lloyd from GMAT.cz. We're here in Prague in the beautiful Czech Republic. This is another question from the legendary Sandeep Gupta. He has a whole set of 700 plus quant. This is a work rate question. In other words, we're looking at the work versus time versus rate. Usually this will involve various machines or people doing a job. So pause, read the question, and get your variables. Now in this case, because we actually have variables in the answer choice, the answer choice is, we consider them a category of question called VIC. So what this means is we now approach, whether it be a low-level question or a more difficult question such as this, in a certain way where we think, okay, we've got variables, let's choose values for those variables. Why not? We can then plug those values in not only to the calculation in the question but into the answer choices. That removes a lot of fear and it gives you a place where you can begin to attack. So we're going to, in this case, introduce a variable for x hours and for y hours. So we're going to say let x equal 2, let y equal 3. In other words, machine A can do the job in 2 hours. Machine B can do the job in 3 hours. Using the combined work equation, 1 over A plus 1 over B equals 1 over both, we assume you have a certain level of math confidence by the time you look at these questions in this 700 plus set. If you don't, maybe go back, review some theory and some of our other videos, and then come back and rewatch this. But as you can see, the calculation's very basic, and first step is, yes, 1 over A plus 1 over B is 1 over both, so 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 equals, in this case, 5 over 6. Okay, but what does that actually mean? Well, this is the reciprocal equation. So in other words, the time for both people, or sorry, in this case, machines, working together is 6 over 5 hours. So one job is done in 6 over 5 hours, which of course is 1 1/5 hour. So this is actually quite an interesting approach now, because it gives us the ability to compare and reduce according to which machine does how much of a job, and we're going to approach it in 2 different ways. The first method is probably the most simple. We say that machine B working by itself does a job in 3 hours. Well, now because of the help of A, it's only going to be working for 1 1/5 hour, so we just subtract that from the 3 hours and create a ratio. Method B, however, will simply be deciding how much work is done by machine B as part of the team, and we'll then subtract that, because as you'll see in the second method, that also gets us to the same answer. So let's start off with the first method. We know that total minus part here represents the 3 hours as if machine B were working by itself, minus the combined work time. So 3 hours minus 1 1/5 hour divided by 3. This ratio then gives us 1 4/5 over 3, which is 6 over 10. That represents the ratio of what work was not necessary for machine B to do, because it was now being held by machine A. So the idea is you just reduce the time required and create that ratio accordingly. Okay, the next job, and this is the unfortunate part of this method, we have to plug in 2 for x and 3 for y into each answer choice. The answer choice A gives us minus 1/5, answer choice B gives us 2. Now remember, we're looking for 6 over 10, in other words 3 over 5. Answer choice C gives us 5 over 6. This may seem time consuming, but with practice it's not. Answer choice D is 3 over minus 1. Guess what? It has to be answer choice E. Let's just double check. We have 3 over 5. We're happy. Job done. Double check your calculation if you need to. Finito. Right, method 2. This time we're going to focus on work. In other words, we're going to say how much of the job does B do in the 6 over 5 hours as part of the team. We're then going to put that over a total according to what the machine would have done by itself and multiply by 100%. Now this ratio gives us 6 over 5 divided by 3 times 100%, which works out at 40%. Why this method works is because we can now subtract that from the total work that would have been done had machine B been working by itself, because obviously machine B has now done less work. So machine B would have done 100% by itself, but now it's done 40%, and therefore 60% was not necessary. 60% as a fraction is 3 over 5. That's answer choice E. Thank you very much. This was Tim Lloyd for GMAT.cz. If you've got any questions on this or any of the other videos in this or other Gain Access channels, please click the link and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, a massive thanks to the legendary Sandeep Gupta for this not quite so difficult GMAT advanced question, but believe me, a lot of the questions from this PDF are indeed very, very challenging. Thank you very much. As I said, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye.